Great if he wants to use that on the Druid of the Claw, but that would be a turn 2 play. He could coin Innervate Druid of the Claw on turn 2, which is not terrible. Pride Fist doesn't have a turn on, or doesn't have a play on turn 1 either. But he does have a pretty nice curve coming up after that. Dark Peddler and an Imp-Gang Boss and a Dark Iron Dwarf seems pretty good. I'm gonna go with the Elven Archer off of that. Those 1-drops are really nice for kind of filling in your curve later on. Kind of makes some awkward turns a little bit less awkward when you're able to just kind of fit those minions in wherever you can. Looks like he's not going to go with the coin innervate play that I talked about. He's debating on the Wrath and Living Roots if he wants to use that to kill the Dark Peddler here. It appears that Living Roots is winning the internal struggle as far as Renka is concerned. Now whether he wants to use that as 2 damage and just kill it off directly, or he can summon 2 1/1s. I imagine he'll just do the 2 damage, and that's what he does. So now Pride First with one of the best 3-drops, if not the best 3-drops in the game. It's going to come out very quickly here. Now Renka's going to have to navigate that. So now he's going to use the Innervate Druid of the Claws, what he's hovering over right now. He can back that up with a 4-drop. In the Shredder next turn with a Queen Sylvanas on turn 5. Looks really good depending on what he draws. These upcoming plays. Pride First can actually use the Defender of Argus here if he wants to prevent the Imp-Gang Boss from dying directly to the Direwolf Alpha and just get a lot of value out of the Imp-Gang Boss here. That's an option. He could go for the Implosion, and if he hits a 4, if he nails a 4 on the Implosion, that's just be really disgusting. However, it would play super hard into Swipe, which Renka does currently have, so I doubt that's the play. Be very greedy play to do regardless. I'm just kind of pointing it out there that it would be disgusting if it goes. He's going for it. We'll see what he gets. He gets the 3. That is not going to be enough to kill off the Druid of the Claw this turn. And with the swipe in hand from Renka, he can deal with this board very nicely if that's the path he wants to take. He is going to do that. He's going to swing there first. And just be able to swipe the face. So valuing more damage on the... Well, I guess it's not more damage on the face either. You could have argued for swiping the Imp-Gang Boss first. And then trading in the Druid of the Claw. You could have maintained 1 extra health on your Druid of the Claw, but probably not a huge deal. I'm sure Renka thought about it. Didn't seem too much value there, but it may have had an impact with that Elven Archer, though. That could have been huge there. Elven Archer being able, the difference between that being able to pick off the Druid of the Claw or not, we'll see if it's a factor later on in the game. Now Renka's got the coin Wrath for 1 here. Oh, nope, he's going to coin Hero Power. I apologize. I spoke too soon. Which makes sense, because generally if you're going to Wrath for 1, you want to do that first, just in case the card that you draw comes out, makes a better play than the one you currently have at hand. So the fact that he didn't do it first kind of should have signaled to me that he was just going to Hero Power that down. Although at the same token, Paladin Shredder is probably the best 4-drop in the game, so I don't know what would have come out that would have changed his mind, aside from maybe an Innervate. You could Innervate it out the Sylvanas. So now here on turn 6, the Sylvanas looks like it's going to come out. Can't really get any value trades with that Shredder because of the Defender of Argus. Even trading into the Peddler would cause it to die. Not a super favorable trade for Renka, but he's pretty much got to do it. And now Pride First has a couple buff cards in there, so he can really dictate these trades if he wants to. But I imagine he'll want to kill off that Sylvanas before trading in, or before playing too many minions. He could cash in the Defender of Argus first to prevent his opponent from taking anything. And then follow it up with some minions on board. He's gonna go with playing the Knife Juggler instead. Looks like he's gonna see where these juggles go. If this juggle hits the Sylvanas, he can use the... It does not. I was gonna say he could use the Abusive Sergeant on the Defender of Argus to trade that in. And hope Renka takes one of the weaker minions. But instead he's gonna have to flood the board and get a little bit more value out of that Defender of Argus able to trade in. So now Renka, hovering over that Wrath, kind of gives him a little bit better options on which minion he steals. He does not want to take the damaged Defender of Argus. That would probably be the worst one. So killing that off first seems pretty strong. Gets a good trade here for him, and we'll see what he's able to pull off. Gets the Haunted Creeper. All three of those minions were not terrible. So, but if you had to guess, at least that was the least attack power minion on the surface. So I'm not sure which Pride First wanted him to take, but he got the Creeper, so that's good for him. And now the Juggle does hit the Druid of the Claw. Does not really affect the trades very much unless Pride First wants to kill it off with a Doom Guard. He'd want to use one of the other cards first, though, obviously, because he's otherwise going to discard them. So that's what he's debating on here. If he wants to sacrifice a card that way, he just use the Abusive here and trade that in. Ooh, he does get the Juggle. That's not exactly where he wanted that Juggle to go, because now the trades are a little bit different. Oh, there we go. There's the Druid of the Claw soaking up the Juggles. So now that being said, Pride First is like, oh, okay. We'll just trade in the Juggler there and just get the extra attack to your face with the Flame Imp. Not being greedy with the Knife Juggler. He has combo in hand. He could play it, but it wouldn't be enough. It would only be 17 damage with the current board. So Renka wrapping that for 3. With this hero power, he is still alive on board. We've seen a decent amount of buff cards from Pride First, so we'll see if he's got 1 damage in hand is all he needs. Imp King Boss is not going to do it. He can tap into it. Tapping puts him down to 18. Depending on how he does these trades here, though, he would be dead to combo regardless. So even if the Shredder just lives, Renka would have 20 damage next turn, so a tap doesn't really make much difference as far as that's concerned. But if he's going to kill the Shredder, then he may want to see what comes out of it first. So it's kind of risky here. He could tap. I'm not sure what he's got in his deck left for damage, though, but if he thinks he can pull it out, takes the play, he's going to tap. Void Walker, not a bad pickup. It's at least a taunt. It will get in the way of one of these minions. Pride First got to decide how he wants to trade here. He's got to get rid of as many minions as he can to play around Force of Nature Savage Roar. Oh, he's going off face. He's setting Renka down to 1. And with that, Force of Nature Savage Roar is going to do it for Renka. Pride First didn't think he had it. He played to win there. He had guaranteed lethal next turn if Renka doesn't have this combo, but he did. And yet another Druid game ends with Force of Nature Savage Roar. So Renka going to be able to even up the series. at 1 game apiece with his druid. So now we've just got a best of 3 left between both of these players.